we go, wait for it. Yeah, copyright. If you can, Google this by the honeycombs. Have I the right? So in my mind, she was the first rock and roll. Actually, it was 60s Britpop. Listen, hang on. I only realistically had one hit, proper one. Go have a look on YouTube, because it's a colour video of them. Silly that back then, of course. It's brilliant, and it just gives so much energy. It's a shame they just didn't do much else. Now, I weren't going to do one of these this week because I'm scanning and editing. I'll get to that in a minute. I did do a video yesterday. I got so annoyed with a few friends and the press that they looked at, and it all started with the Tommy Robinson thing, where the press said, I'm not the big fan of Tommy Robinson, of course, but he's got his issues, hasn't he, where he grew up in Luton. I'm not going down that road. I've been following him 10 years and he's a bit of a complex person, especially keep going to Israel. I don't know what that's all about. But anyway, someone said about basically, I'm trying not to go down the rabbit hole too deep because I lost it yesterday. The press literally, I know I'm babbling now, I've got to get it right. The press turned around and said, Tommy turned around and said that he wants America and Donald Trump to invade the UK. He didn't. He says he wants to free, he would like Donald Trump to free the UK from the tyrannical regime that is Keir Starmer. That's a difference. Free and invade are two completely different sayings. Anyway, I sort of lost it a bit on that one. I got it down here. He said free. This was what I did yesterday. I did put it on YouTube as one of my YouTube channels, and then I looked at it and thought, nah, I just can't be bothered, because what we're getting right now, isn't it, is noise. And I'm part of the problem right now because I'm noise. But within that noise is some truth, and a lot of the truth is getting lost. So what else did I do? Oh yeah, I put Keir, C-U-N-T, said, and in a speech which I really did lose it, all people want to do is go to work to pay their bills and put food on the table. I lost it at that point. Who the hell does he think he is? Do you think we were just put on this planet to get up, pay taxes, pay for everything that's overinflated in the UK, and pay for food, and then accept that's it? No holidays, no nice little car to run around in with your kids in the back in a safe SUV or whatever you want to get. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? To work hard, have a holiday, live a life, go to the pub, take your kids out, do stuff. No, just work, pay bills, put food on the table and be grateful. So I totally lost it, because that's not living. That is not what we were put on this planet for, just to pay bills for all these bureaucrats who keep constantly cocking everything. I'm trying not to lose it. I'm trying. Which brings me on to Nigel Farage. I believe in Reform Party. I totally believe in the Reform Party. I don't, and I've said in every show when I've mentioned him, I don't believe in him. Lee Anderson and a few other people, don't forget they got rid of Rupert Lowe, was most probably be a better Prime Minister than him. They made false accusations up from Nigel Farage's office. Him and his right-hand man, Yusuf, whatever. He's surrounded himself with Muslims, isn't he? He is. I don't get Nigel. So he came out with this, I can't even pronounce. I thought Zahawi had principles, but tonight it learns just about climbing that greasy pole. It is starting to turn into a Tory 2.0 party, as people keep saying. And I'm not just saying that because I've read, it is bantering around, I know. I don't get it though. I don't get, here's the perfect party for reform in the UK. Bring it back to some standard value it had. But listen, so he's now welcomed this gazillionaire, whoever it is. Well, he's not, but he was in the Tory party. And now he's defected because 2 weeks after he wanted this peerage or whatever he was after or something, they turned him down. So he's look, this is Nigel Farage on the very man this week that he's standing with. And why I'm mentioning this is because it's just politics to him. It's just politics. If he had any sort of balls, he would tell this Ziwawi, whoever he is, to flip off. Just bugger off. I don't need people like you in my party. But this is what he said about him. All right? I'm not making this shit up.
I thought Zahawi was one of those people that could replace Boris Johnson, to break us out of the old Etonian mould, to get somebody different, somebody who'd succeeded in private business before politics. I thought Zahawi had principles. Tonight we learn he's just about climbing that greasy pole, as so many of them are.
So he's now climbing Nigel Farage's greasy pole, and he's allowing it. What a shame, eh? You just start to see, not cracks, you just start to see through all of this rubbish. Sorry, I'm looking at you, but I'm looking at something else. I'm now doing a doco. I'm getting back to it in a minute. While I'm sitting here, a doco on me and two mates in 1986 when we bought motocross bikes. And there was no video back in 1986, and I was still really experimenting with a lot of black and white photography. Have a look at this. This is my AI friend. So this will be the first time I've used AI. I've done the Moped Lads, Two Stroke Boys, and our first car, and they all went down on YouTube really, really, really well. One had 50,000 hours of it, not views, 50,000 hours viewed, and then on top of that it actually had over 1,000 comments, and I normally reply to all of them because the algorithm then keeps you going. But look at this. So this was the original photograph, and I thought we need a little bit. As my mate Carl, who's now my brother-in-law, look. It's not finished. There's me. Look at that. These are from still photographs. There's Paul. Look at that. So that's the beginning, and that's me. And then what happens, I always do it, it's 1986, and then I come up with a lot of stats. You know, flow into it nice and gently, get in. I'm going to enjoy this one as well. So I do the voiceover, and then I add all of the photos later, and I normally do my animation by hand, but this will be the first time I'll be, is it cheating? Maybe it is cheating, I don't know. Anyway, let's continue. I just thought I'd throw that in while I was sitting there. So the food pyramid I got annoyed about again, because this is now people who, the influencers, all right? I got nothing at the bottom to sell, never have, never will. And the influencers who are selling their products, I got annoyed about that as well, because now they're flipped over. They're flipped over to the other side and going, hey, now you need to buy rather than our carbohydrate loaded stuff if you're an athlete and that. Now you need to go to our protein. Unbelievable, eh? They don't care. There's no morals with these people. So be very careful when you start seeing in the supermarkets high protein, high fat, high this, high that, because they'll start working on you. What you've got to look for is the highly processed side of it. And it's already there now with high protein yogurts. It's mainly sugar and all that crap. All right, just look at the ingredients. And I always say if there's 5 or 6 more ingredients than on the list, you shouldn't buy it. And if you can't actually pronounce some of the names, don't buy it. So it's not just high carbohydrate, it's what's in them. And if you follow me on Facebook, I do from time to time post stuff, and now I put the breads and that. And I suggested people like my wife was gluten intolerant, and I am now with some breads. And last week I got really ill one day. I got so inflamed in my stomach, and they said, oh, it's gluten intolerant. So I had a look at the bread on the back, and it had over 50 ingredients. If you're saying it's the flour, Don't kid me, that rubbish. It's not the bloody flour, it's the other 49 ingredients in it. I make bread sometimes upstairs in my bread maker, and I use 4 ingredients, and they're all proper ingredients. So I don't think it's gluten. I think they've altered everything to an extent. That's why we're fighting. Our gut is fighting back. And now just be very aware of all these. I'm just looking out there. I've got a dove hovering around. I normally feed them this time of the afternoon. What else was there? The food pyramid. Yeah, AI influencers. I don't get it. We live in a very troubled world, don't we? And then I said this has got 8 calories. It's basically cider vinegar, and it's got actual fruit extract. There's no sugar in it. And someone on my news show yesterday, you know you are because you follow me, and he turned around and said, that's got to have some sugar in it somewhere. The ingredients don't lie. The only downside is it's made in Australia. Yeah, 8 calories. It's really actually a nice tasting 4 ingredient in a can. How you all doing, folks? So here I am with my trusty little lawnmower. It's a nice day. It's a better day than yesterday. That is the plant that just keeps giving. Now here's the important one. Look at my bar. I'm changing that as well. I've started to box that up like them. This is going to be a real lush different colour. I'm going to have some shelving down there, and it's going to have a lot of my old toys and things on it. And I've started getting some frames, so I'm changing. I'm going to take that out. It's an 8. It's realistically an 8x8. It's an 8x8 frame, and I'm going to have them all on the wall here. I've got about 2,500 10x8 black and whites of people, friends, family, people who are no longer with us, and I'm just going to have a wall of fame there. And then every now and then, like I do on this wall, I've got to change that. On this wall, I change them around, so friends, family will end up on the back wall for a while, you know. And it's a good way of using the photographs before I chuck them out. But somewhere on the line, they'll be in the background on my videos, my news show, which I've got to smarten up because the algorithm has literally, as you know, killed me. It literally has. It does not like my show at all, which is more about the people, isn't it, than the algorithm telling me. I've just finished these. So all of my, let's have a look. All of my 2020, look at this one. All of my 2025 negatives I've now scanned. Look at that. Yep, I took that, my grandson. You can't get, that is the image. I've not altered it. I've not done nothing to it. That is the image. That, to my mind, is real photography. Unlike this bloody modern stuff. Let's have a look. I'm not, there you go, look at that. That's what I call modern photography. That's true photography right there. I've not, all right, I could have cropped in, but I've not reframed it. I've not done nothing with it. That is the photograph. Yes, I do use my grandchildren in a lot of the shots, but even this, so this is a photograph of Rusty, but look at that in black and white. And what I like, it's pure photography. I've not altered it. I've not put contrast. I've not run it through a photo program or AI or nothing. What you see there is what you get, nothing else. So I've been having a good play with all of these, uploading them and messing around. You know, you get so much more pleasure. And it doesn't matter that his head's slightly cropped off. He's collecting bugs there. My daughter said I needed a chill pill, so she knitted me one, and that's is Uncle Bulgaria in his bowler hat that my good lady wife Tracy made. That's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's about 15 different knitted pieces on there. She might tell me different, might be more. So yeah, I need a chill pill, of course I do. So that's why I've started this, and we can have another little carry on. You get the picture. You should watch it. They're interesting, even if you never had a motocross bike. So it just goes on. And then if we, look, you watch this, look. Watch this. Did you see that? That's one picture. That's one picture. Obviously you have to have the idea in your head to stitch it together and tell AI what to do and how you want it. That's one picture of me when I was 23 on my KX 250 Suzuki. I love that. Anyway, I'm doing Doc Orner. You have a good day, folks. I am. I will sit here and have a chat to Uncle Bulgaria because he has more common sense than most people I see on TV these days. You have a good one, folks. I am. I hope you're a fan. Okay, corny.